Questions?
And what the first interception that you threw seemed like it was kind of forced. What did you see pre-snap and after the snap?
I saw time 2 max, and it was forced. It was 3rd and goal. It was long down the distance, so I was just trying to get the ball to one of my best playmakers. And number 10 made a great play, actually.
Just going back and watching film, I mean, were there things from that game that you felt like maybe you thought you didn't do well, and you maybe did a little bit better at, or I mean, what were your thoughts after watching?
We always can get better with, everything that you do, and obviously we didn't score touchdowns, and that's one thing that I take pride in myself is getting the ball in the end zone. That's one thing Coach Fisher always said, touchdown in the red zone. So that hurt me from my perspective of the game, but I felt like we had a pretty good first game, but we always got to get better.
James, when you went back and looked at the film at that run you had for the touchdown, did you realize it was that kind of fantastic after you saw it, or did you know at the time it was a pretty neat run?
I couldn't even celebrate the run because I was cramping after I scored a touchdown. So it was just something. It was something that we needed, And if you look at that play, everybody did what they were supposed to do, and that's how the Florida State plays. It was times when I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I threw those 2 picks. And when we on the same page, everybody doing what they're supposed to do, plays like that happen.
James, Jimbo talked a little about Kermit being able to make some really good adjustments on 3rd down and break routes off and blitzes and things like that. I wonder if you could speak to what you've seen out of him just progressing. I know we talked about wanting to get better last year.
Well, Kermit is a playmaker, just like the rest of our guys. But Kermit is blessed to be one of the fastest out of all our playmakers, and just giving him the ball, giving him more touches is going to, make our offense a lot better.
Bobo's going to be back this week. Are you looking forward to him? How is he looking practice?
Definitely. I mean, Bobo has always been practicing, even though he couldn't play this last game. But it puts a smile on my face because now we have all our weapons now. We were missing a brother at first, and now he's back. So I'm very excited to throw him some touchdowns.
What does he do well? What does he bring to the table?
He's kind of like Kermit in a sense, but I mean his field awareness and the way that he can get open and make plays after he catches. I mean it's amazing.
Speaking of Bobo, so on the outside, what does he do that kind of compensates for his 5'9" height, which isn't maybe the prototypical outside receiver?
You got to think about him and Kermit. Like if you throw them a hitch, I mean they most likely gonna try to take it to the house. They shifty, fast, and hard to tackle. And Bobo's strong. Bobo's cut up, and he's physical. So I promise you, I mean, people say the same thing about Jordan being short, but it ain't gonna change the way that they play on the field.
How much of a security blanket is Rashad?
Security blanket?
Yeah.
My offensive line is my security blanket. Rashad just makes plays. So we don't have no security blankets. Like we just have a great offense.
Well, how much? I guess maybe a different way to ask it is, how comfortable is it to have him as well as him and always being in the right spots and always being able to make plays?
Oh, it's always great for a quarterback and a wide receiver to have great trust like me and Rashad have, and him and Pops are my only 2 outside guys that return that I play with, consistently last year. So that's very important to have those 2.
Jameis, we've heard from you guys about how much work you put in with the receivers during the offseason. How comfortable are you with those younger guys?
I'm very comfortable. Travis was the only young guy that was able to play in Saturday's game, and it's still a work in progress. Because you can work with someone so much. Like with me last year, I could throw with the wide receivers, but at the end of the day, they didn't know how I was going to perform in the game. Once they get out there in the game and start running around and they get used to the atmosphere and how things go at Florida State, I believe that we got some real talented guys.
I mean, even Rashad, when he first came in, he wasn't in a game as early as Rudolph was. I mean, what have you guys seen from him that really is giving you guys an offense and Coach Fisher, the trust to put him in a game that early?
Well, just his ability to just play every position. Rudolph and all our young receivers, those 3 have really caught on, and it's hard being in Coach Fisher's offense and learning every single outside position. So, of course, they make mistakes, but Rudolph, I mean, he's just been consistent. I mean, he was injured at the beginning of the camp, but he always took mental reps, and he never took a play off.
Jameis, obviously you have a lot of confidence in your receivers, but do you expect teams to maybe test the passing game more without proving guys like Kelvin or Kenny on the outside?
Well, I mean, I can't predict what a team's going to try to do, but of course, their main focus is going to be to try to stop Rashad and Nick. And that's where those young guys are going to have to step up. And that's why I say it's a work in progress, because we got to get those guys ready for the show. You know, and me personally, I believe that they're ready. They just haven't had the opportunity to show that they are ready, you know, because we just, like, it's the first game, we got to fall back to what we do best, and that's get Rashad, Nick, and run the football.
Did they try to take Nick a little bit away last week, and what do you do more to kind of get him a little bit more involved?
Well, we got so many ways to get Nick the ball. You know, I missed one opportunity to get him a ball on the flag route. And, you know, with him and Rashad being on the same side, it's kind of easy to kind of shut down that side. But we got so many ways to do new things. We just staying basic and sticking to our little game plan.
Rashad told us after the game that on his long touchdown at the end, you threw the ball in a way that he knew exactly how to spin out of the route and away from the defenders. And he said that's something that happens a lot. I mean, can you just sort of speak to that and I guess how you develop such a, I guess, a high-level understanding with each other?
Well, you know, Coach Fisher and Coach Sanders always tell the quarterback that the most important thing is decision-making and accuracy. And we got to know how to protect our wide receivers so they won't be scared to go across that middle. And we got to know which hip to put it on and which side to put it on so they can turn out, you know, and make a play. But fortunately, having a guy like those guys like that, they can catch a 5-yard pass and judge by the ball placement, turn out, and just take it to the house. I mean, those are the type of guys that we have. And Rashad, I mean, he just had an amazing play.
James, you said you had to give credit to your teammates after the game. He had a pick 6, and PJ forced the fumble. How big was the team around?
I believe that last week's game, we made plays when we needed to make plays. You know, we had that important with their run. We had to score right now. I think it was 20-17. You know, they just cut the lead down to 3, so we had to, you know, make a statement and score right there. And PJ's forced fumble. You know, we needed that. You know, that led to Rashad's touchdown and led to us winning the game. You know, Nate's pick at the beginning of the game. It just, you know, when you can change momentum, when the team think that they have you, and you just can change momentum at the right time, that's how you win football games. And that's how I know, that's why I said we still play like a championship team, but we got to be more consistent. And it's my fault, because if I would have never threw those 2 interceptions, we would have been in that situation.
Also, how important was it with the time management? How critical was it working on that in practice and then seeing you guys implement that towards the end of the game?
Well, that's one thing that we work so hard on, you know, and it just, our habits are going to come to the surface when we put in pressure situations. So, I mean, you just got to get that to the coaches, you know, for being strict when we do those reps in practice.
How has practice been maybe different this week? Are you seeing more consistency? I know that was one of the things going into that game that Jimbo said you guys could have done better with.
Yeah, it has been a lot different, you know, just from the intensity standpoint, because it was the young guys. You know, the young guys realize that now, hey, okay, practice might be dreadful, but the game is easy. You know, I won't be as tired as I was in practice when I'm in the game. So it was just getting those guys to understand how things go. That's why I said we had to get them ready for the show. So of course we practiced for 30 weeks, you know, in fall camp, and we were getting tired of playing against each other every single day. So when you have that competition playing against another team, you get a chance to show your abilities against another team, you get this relaxed state of mind, just like, okay, we're finally here now, so let's get on the right track and let's get this show going.
What would it do for this team if you can get some of those young guys incorporated into the offense?
We're going to get them incorporated pretty soon because we need them. And that's one thing that I got to keep telling them that, hey, we need you guys. And when they know their role and they know that when it's time to play, they got to play, they're gonna come in big for us.
Jameis, Mario Pender talked about stepping into that huddle for the first time. You kind of giving him a little wink, settling him down. Do those type of things come natural? Just kind of settling your teammates down?
I know Pender, he's been going through a lot. You know, and when he stepped on the field, I said, hey, welcome back. You know, that just make him feel good. Just like, hey, man, I got my brothers behind me. You know, I'm not out here by myself. And I don't want none of my teammates to feel like they got to handle something by themselves. You know, I'd rather all the pressure be on me and take the pressure off them. You know, and that was important because he had a great game. And I promise you, he probably be seeing the ball a lot more.
What are some of the things that maybe you've learned here for the last 3 years from Jimbo when it comes to kind of coaching up some of the younger guys and bringing guys together and so on and so forth?
Well, I kind of use, the way that I communicate with the players is kind of the way that Coach Fisher communicated with me when he was building me to be, this good quarterback. So I try to be easy and simple with them and try to guide them the right way. But you can't really make them go the right way, but you kind of guide them and try to get them ready. And you always have confidence in them. Irma had came to me one time. He had a practice where he just dropped about 3 balls. And he said, "Man, do you still trust me?" I said, "Of course I trust you." I said, "Because it's going to be one practice, I made 3 bad throws." Guys just got to accept that everyone makes mistakes. But that's why we have a team. And when we can play together as a team, we're going to be better.
It's been a long time since this team has played a game in Doak. How excited are you guys to get out there at home?
I'm very excited. We can't lose in Doak. And I'm just happy that we're going to be having our fans. I'm glad that our fans turned up well in Dallas, man. It was a very great atmosphere, but being in Doak is different. We ready. We're prepared to play in front of all our fans and get another victory.
Jameis, Jimbo said it felt like maybe you guys played like you had the pressure of being number 1 in Dallas. Do you think having the result that you did against Oklahoma State, does it alleviate some of the pressure? Does it intensify some of the pressure?
No, we don't really got no pressure because we know it's a new team. But I'm glad that we did win that way, so we can see like, hey, this is about to be a strain. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to beat everybody by 40 points a game. I mean, we gonna be playing some real football, and we glad that we got tested early. You know what I'm saying? We need to see what we were gonna do in that pressure situation. Fortunately, it was the Boston College game, our 3rd game when we got tested, but it was the first game this time, and we saw that we overcame adversity and we got a victory.
How will you know that these guys are going to take that wake-up call to heart? Have you already seen that?
Yeah, in practice.
So what's the next step of the progression of offense that you want to see improve from week 1 to week 2?
Well, you really can't judge the progression that you're gonna get. You just gotta expect everything to get better every week because it was the first week. But I gotta improve on turnovers. Like just me, from my perspective, just what I gotta do. We can't have that many turnovers.
As a team, obviously, you guys had a lot of success, but you personally had so much success. I mean, you talk to some of the wide receivers, they talk about, not wanting to embarrass you or not wanting to make you look bad. I mean, is there something that you do to kind of maybe try to take some of that pressure that they might feel off of them?
Yeah, just continue to trust in them and have confidence and let them know, like, after the game, I was like, see, guys, I threw 2 picks. That's not y'all fault. That's why we need each other. We're just stressing the fact that we need each other,
What was the difference between the upcoming game last year? Because you didn't throw any picks, you only threw 2 incompletions compared to this game. You seem like you were pressuring a lot. Is there a difference as far as the camaraderie?
Just me trying to do too much. Trying to redeem myself or have a game like I had last year instead of just going out there and playing. But the most important part was we got a victory, just like we did the first game last year.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.